Hello, everybody. Welcome to TDL America's Pro Series 27. Got some exciting matches for you today, and we are right into the draft for our first game. We have for you today in round number one, Five Strangers versus 1-2-3-1-2-3. Pair of teams I've personally not seen in the TDL circuit before, but I'm not positive. I don't catch every game, often because I'm casting some of them. This will be interesting to see. There's at least one name I recognize. I'm pretty sure I've seen Lil Nick before on one of our teams. I think these are a couple of stacks that probably just came together recently. There's obviously been all the post-TI shakeups for the big name teams, and I think a lot of groups are looking to put something together for the start of things if they didn't already get a stack going for like the Kuala Lumpur qualifiers. Five Strangers won the coin flip. They elected to take second pick, which is interesting. We've mostly been seeing teams prioritize first pick lately. So it looks like they're going to focus on some counter-picking strategy, maybe have some spicy picks that they want to grab in that final phase of the game, or of the draft. Maybe some cheese heroes that they want to try to get away with. For bans, we're looking at pretty standard bans from the last patch. We did have the small 7.34E patch come out earlier this week. So a bit of a shakeup of the meta for that, but it looks like it's going to be pretty similar stuff.
5 seconds.
We've got, Brewmaster, Chaos Knight, Kunkka, and now Treant Protector banned out by Five Strangers. On the other side, Dawnbreaker, Spirit Breaker, and one more ban to come out for 1-2-3-1-2-3. Yeah, a lot of these heroes took a bit of a nerf. Chaos Knight in particular, I think, was one of the more nerfed heroes. Spirit Breaker as well. But those are definitely the strategies that teams are comfortable with right now, is the heroes that they were playing on the last patch, so not surprising to see those continued to get banned out. I think it's also just kind of the draft strategies that these teams know best right now, is taking out these heroes. So just kind of sticking with what they're comfortable with. I haven't seen much of the new patch. There hasn't been anything. I think there's been a few tournaments going on. So let's look at one of there. Phoenix going to be banned out. That was another one that was popular in the meta. And Nature's Prophet is going to be the opening pick for 1-2-3-1-2-3. Curious if we will see this flexed at all. Previously, we were basically only seeing it on the support role. Every once in a while, you could see it flex to a core role, but that was pretty rare at a high level. Let's see. Let's see. Who have Five Strangers open with? They prioritized the second pick. And actually, that means 1-2-3-1-2-3 took Dire, which is also the opposite of what we would normally expect. It's going to be the Primal Beast out of the gate. So get open that 7.34E. I want to look at some of the changes that are
10 seconds
happening, because I believe both of these heroes saw something. No, these heroes actually won. Oh, no, there's Primal Beast. His mana cost doesn't scale down, and the Pulverize cooldown's a little longer. This is basically the same hero, though. Level 25 talent adjusted as well.
10 seconds remain.
Nothing crazy there.
5 seconds remain.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet went unbothered in the patch. Alright, a couple more bans. We're going to get the Grimstroke. Really good combo with the Primal Beast, so not surprised to see that banned out. He was super popular in 734D, but did not get super nerfed by the patch either.
It is Radiant's ban.
Yeah, he in Pinnacle, which is one of the bigger tournaments that's been going on lately, Grimstroke's been the most played hero with 53% win rate. So nothing crazy, but definitely overall winning his games. We're going to get Templar Assassin banned out as well.
5 seconds.
Hero that we tend to see in the mid or safe lane positions. Most likely thinking it's a safe lane here, as Primal Beast will typically go into the mid lane. One more ban for 5 strangers. It's going to be the Earth Spirit, so try to protect their mid matchup. They don't like the matchup with the Earth Spirit. Which is a hero used to be big in support, but this year has been all about the mid lane. Has kind of shifted to becoming the best spirit hero in the mid lane on recent
10
patches.
seconds. 5 seconds remain. Dire's turn.
Alright, who's it going to be now? Ooh, it's going to be the Ancient Apparition. Another hero that was really big with the popularity of, like, the Heart Blade Mail build, especially at TI. So, that hero took, I would say, one of the bigger nerfs of the patch. The ultimate got taken down from scaling up to 12 seconds duration to only a 10-second duration at level 3. Ice Vortex damage per second also reduced a little bit. That's not a critical part of the hero, so I don't think that's a huge adjustment. Makes him a little less annoying in lane if the player decides to go into that W build. Kind of suggests to go more into a Q build with the Cold Feet for your harass in lane, or just stick to the Chilling Touch to throw the snowballs at him. It's gonna be Tusk from 123 123. So this is probably your support duo, but definitely the opportunity for some flexibility. Really good gank potential. This Ancient Apparition is going to be scared of these two supports in this matchup. But as we get into the later game, he'll have a Primal Beast to hide behind. We'll see what else 5 strangers put up to deal with this, like, already looking like a pretty gank-heavy strategy that 123 123 is going for. Tusk did not see any adjustments. Ooh, a Visage. That is a hero we do not see a ton. Probably going to be your offlaner, maybe your mid laner. Also depends on where these heroes or where these players have their comfort.
10 seconds remain.
And that's another hero that's pretty good at ganking. Has good move speed, gets the Aghanim Scepter, and becomes an invisibility hero. So that's going to be even more potential to find a backline. I think this is going to force 5 strangers into a pretty melee-heavy core lineup, which was a strong strategy previously. But with the nerfs to Heart, which again weren't huge, but they're something, it means it's not quite as good. Naga Siren is going to be the pick for 5 strangers, so that's a hard hero to gank. But in the early game can be fragile. 123 123 definitely has the potential with this draft to put pressure on the Naga in the jungle.
5 seconds.
But the pressure is going to be on them to shut down this Naga Siren's farm now. The AA Naga Siren lane should be pretty good as well. The illusions are nice for AA to hide behind. You get some slows to help Naga Siren connect with more of the illusions. It's a really annoying lane to play into. you're just going to get constant harassed from the long-range abilities and attacks of AA, plus all of these Naga illusions running at you. And it's going to be the Dark Willow. So already seeing the Naga Siren, I don't think we have to worry about the Dark Willow core. That also was something that got a small nerf in the E-patch. So this should be your position 4. Also a nice answer to this gank lineup that 123 has. Between the Brambles and the Terrorize, you have good options for getting people off of your team after they go for that early initiation. So we'll see what 123 want to go with. Maybe something more durable to kind of form the center of their fight. It's going to be Night Stalker, so it is going to be a durable option, but yet another hero that just wants to run forward at the enemy team. This is going to be a really fun game to watch if 123 can pull off this draft they've gone with, because this is full run at you. There are no breaks on this draft.
5 seconds.
So I imagine this is going to be Visage in the mid lane, Night Stalker in the off lane. Could be a Night Stalker carry, could be a Visage support with a Nature's in the core role. I think that's the least likely. But we will see what these teams... I'm curious where 5 Strangers think 123 is looking. They're going to ban a Pangolier, so they think that they've already seen the carry hero, and that 123 is looking for a mid. Meanwhile, 123 ban out the Luna, which is kind of an interesting one, because my assumption would be that we have Naga Siren in the safe lane, Primal in the mid lane, and that they're looking for an off lane. It could be Primal in the off lane. 5 Strangers is going to hedge their bets a little bit, ban out the Spectre, which would be... I mean, Pango Spectre, like, they see what 123 is doing. They do not want another dive hero. There are plenty to still be found. There are all of the spirits except for Ember if we are looking for a mid laner here. Interesting. It's going to be the Queen of Pain. That's going to be their... the last ban of this draft. So we see what 123 closes out with. They don't even take too much time thinking about it. It's going to be the Dazzle. Dazzle surprisingly didn't get a massive nerf either after we saw him... Warrel's mid Dazzle won the final game of TI. So they only adjusted it so that you can't use it to reduce your Blink Dagger cooldowns. You can still reduce your Hand of Midas cooldowns. They did up the Hand of Midas cooldown a little bit. It's going to be an Invoker from 5 Strangers. So it looks like that will be your mid laner. And Primal is going to be your offlane most likely. This could be like an offlane Invoker. I'm not super familiar with these players, so seeing them lock in unfortunately doesn't tell me where they're going to end up. I think we have them listed by position, but I don't think that that's necessarily accurate on the unofficial Wikipedia page. Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious to see where these heroes line up. I assume this is a Dazzle. Actually, who's the carry on 123? I think it has to be the Night Stalker, and then the Dazzle should be in the mid lane. That's going to be annoying for the Primal Beast.
10 seconds.
All of those Shadow Wave heal bombs coming out on the creeps.
Seconds.
It's going to make it harder for Primal to trample through those creeps and more to deal with. I also really like this Dazzle as a kind of centerpiece to this run at you draft. He's going to need some items to keep up with the rest of the team, but it means that as long as he stays safe, he can just keep the entire rest of the team alive. They can dive on you just freely and not be scared that they're going to die because they have a Dazzle behind them. And it's going to be really hard for 5 Strangers to find that Dazzle, keep the pressure on him. I think that's going to be Ferrari 130's responsibility in these fights. keeping the harass up on that Dazzle with the illusions. Maybe looking for Primal Beast to hunt down James as well. Yeah, this is going to be a cool draft. I like what 1-2-3 is cooking. It's definitely not meta. I'd say Five Strangers have the much more straightforward draft. Their ease of execution is going to be a lot easier. Their game plan is simple. Get the Naga to the late game, and you're good. But 1-2-3 has so much pressure out of this draft. I think that this is going to be a tough one for Five Strangers. Alright, let's see where
Prepare for battle.
these players are going to go.
Dazzling dead.
I'm going to start off... Everybody's headed down towards the bot side on both sides. Got the Night Stalker lurking around the mid lane, so maybe that's where he's going to line up. Arma on the Invoker with the Quelling Blade up against that Nature's Prophet. The trees. They're gonna spot out Tuberonson here, and all four heroes are immediately onto him. That's gonna be First Blood. Karma picking it up. That's gonna be big to start things off for Five Strangers. That is a kill going to most likely your mid laner, Karma over here on the Invoker. Yeah, we've got wards in the hands of Savage and P-Squad. Carl.
Making mistakes is the path to wisdom.
Supports. Satoshi gonna head up here towards this rune. It's unguarded, so on top of that First Blood, it looks like things will shake out alright. So 5/5/5. Gonna pick up one rune, and it looks like Tuberonson is going to get here first. Yeah, we'll be able to nab that other bounty rune. That's going to be a 2-for-2, even split on the runes to start things off. Five Strangers coming away with that First Blood before the bell. Yeah, it looks like it will be Satoshi in the off lane on the Primal Beast with Carl on the Dark Willow. It's going to be Tuberonson on the Night Stalker in the safe lane, supported by 5/5/5 on the Nature's Prophet. Karma in the mid lane on the Invoker against James on the Dazzle. The new bot lane, so yeah, it's going to be the off lane Visage by Lil Nick, and then Demon on the support Tusk. Got Savage on the AA supporting Ferrari 130 on the carry Naga. Curious to see where the action is going to be focused. You've got some heroes that like to fight up in this top lane. We've already got Carl doing some shenanigans, blocking the small camp. 5/5/5 though, bringing the pain. Carl does have the Quelling Blade ready to go, but able to quickly escape that Sprout, but already pretty low. Going to take another hit. Has the Blightstone, so those hits hurt even at level 1. Primal Beast's Courier is going to get picked off. 5/5/5 won't get the Dark Willow, but will get the consolation prize in the form of Satoshi's Courier. Sprout coming out from 5/5/5, throwing out more harass onto Satoshi. Check out things over in the bot lane. Pretty chill. This is probably not going to be a super contested lane. It's hard to deal with the Naga and put too much pressure there. Karma getting a little low on the Invoker. Up top, though, it's going to be Carl falling low inside the Sprout, trying to escape, sets up the Bramble, but 5/5/5 able to step through it, and Carl is going to fall here. We do get the Blood Grenade thrown down on the 5/5/5, so Satoshi's going to jump under the tower with the Onslaught and find the return kill. And the kill on the Dark Willow went to 5/5/5, so Primal getting kind of the better of that. Gets the solo XP for the kill for Satoshi, so this is going to set up the Primal Beast pretty nicely. Last hits-wise, the Dazzle, James, already off to a great start against this Invoker. 10-6, now 11-6 to 4-0. This lane is not much of a contest so far. Karma is going to get this full wave under tower, so that should offset things nicely for them. James is in good shape to start things off. Down bot side, the Illusion Harass coming out, keeping Demon away from blocking that small camp. Now they're going to snowball forward onto Ferrari 130, and they get the teleport in from 55. Ferrari 130 is going to fall, so a key early kill on that Naga Siren. Old Feet Stun comes out onto Demon, but just going to force the Tusk to back away a bit. Now 555 is going to go right back through the gate and needs to get there quickly. Stuber Ronson is taking quite a bit of pressure from Satoshi and Carl. Getting caught up in the brambles. Satoshi doesn't have any spells left, so just trying to run them down. And with 555 rotating back in, Satoshi's going to back up. Carl's still looking for something. Tango passed over to the Night Stalker. Now they're going to turn back with the Sprout and the Blood Grenade, and Carl is going to be the one to fall if 555 can find a few more right clicks. Did have the Lotus from the pool, but it will not be enough, and Nature's Prophet finds the turnaround kill, making big waves all around the map, finding a kill in both side lanes using the teleport plus that gate. And bot Demon getting a little low, pulling the creeps over to the camp. They are going to get the D-ward on the ward to unblock the camp. See if Savage throws another ward in there. Tusk is going to make a rotation over to the mid lane. James has been keeping up the pressure on this Invoker. Double the last one right now. And 555 is going to have another TP with the Sprout. Karma is in all sorts of trouble, but Savage is there, and they get the return kill on James. Now Satoshi comes in as well. Demon gets pushed up to the high ground. Can Satoshi find the space to close the gap? Carl is going to come in with the Shadow Realm attack, but Demon has the 1 charges and is able to survive. Will salve right back up. Okay, this is already such a chaotic game. I love it. Savage is going to get caught up in the Ice Shards after denying the rune, and that will spell their demise. Carl's Courier also going to go down. 555 continuing to be a nuisance. Hanging out in this mid lane, they want to look for a kill on Karma again. James is a level up on the Invoker. He's going to run right under tower, has the heals, they get the Sprout. Demon's here as well. Karma's just trying to find somewhere to escape. Can't get into the trees. The Ice Shards block off the path. Demon is going to survive the turnaround from Karma with the Snowball, and they will secure the kill on Karma. Demon will be able to walk away. The immense pressure immediately from this run at you lineup from 123, 123. 5 Strangers looking for a way to respond to this pressure that 123, 123 is bringing. And now the support's just hanging out in the mid lane, trying to keep this mid tower alive for Karma to come back to. Boker having to make the long walk back after getting picked off the second time. Top lane, we got a couple of beefy boys just kind of hanging out with each other. Ronson, now that it's nighttime, is going to look to put out some pressure, and now 555 is going to get the TP in, but nothing to stop the onslaught away, so Satoshi will be perfectly fine. Down in the bot lane, Visage is going to be at the top of the last hits. All 3 of the 123, 123 cores, they're enjoying the space that's being made so far. But Ferrari 130 is right there with them.
Killing spree.
And over in the mid lane, they're going to find another kill. Demon sets it up for James, and a killing spree already for the Dazzle, and they're going to look to make this another rotation over towards Ferrari.
Dazzle.
Or maybe just pick up a bounty ring in the bottle.
Look to their middle tower.
Pressure continuing on Karma as 555 is going to get spotted by Carl, who's going to push them away. But Demon's lurking here in the backline. They really want to completely shut down this Invoker. Take a look at our net worth. Yeah, it's already all 3 of the 123 cores at the top of the charts. Toshi farming deep, 555 looking to maybe contest that. Trying to find some farm that's safe, not enjoying laning against the Night Stalker at this point. They scan each other over at the Radiant Wisdom Rune, but no dire heroes are home. Satoshi is pulling this creep wave so far. T-War Onsen is going to TP over and has the ult. Now Satori trying to escape. Onslaught's away, but T-War Onsen able to chase them down, has full vision with the Dark Ascension. Satoshi is going to get brought down. The Sprout damage is going to help make it happen.
Hello,
it's a killing spree. 555 uses the ult and TP's over. No, it's not even the ult, only level 4, but the TP's there. Picks up the kill on Ferrari 130 that was set up by Lil Nick and James. This is just immediately way too much for 5 Strangers to deal with.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ferrari 130 making their way right back to the lane. Trying to relieve some of the pressure that these familiars are dealing to the tower, but those things are a bit of a nuisance, and we're going to get a full rotation down towards bot. Meanwhile, they do find an important kill for 5 strangers onto TV Ronson on the Night Stalker. But it looks like it's just going to be a trade of carries, as Ferrari 130 cannot get the Siren Song off in time, doesn't have it leveled from 6, didn't have another mirror image ready to go. It's just going to get brought down. They go carry for carry, and this is going to be the safe lane tower taken by 123, 123 as well. With the full Solar Crest already on Lil Nick. Nature's Prophet looking at a Spirit Vessel. James is going straight for the Aghanim Scepter. No Midas necessary when you're this far ahead. You get those auto attacks going, and just the list of things that the Aghanim Scepter adds to what Shadow Wave does. You see a massive tower spike come out from this Dazzle, and it'll help him farm too. Every time you can just go in, Shadow Wave a creep camp, and completely blow it up. 5 strangers looking for some spaces in the gaps to find some safer farm. Ferrari 130 coming off of Pair of Deaths, just trying to find little space in here. 555 doesn't want it to happen. Stepping up onto this high ground. They have vision there, but not enough heroes in the area to help make it happen. Human covering the mid lane, looking to get up to that level 6, amp up their damage on the Tusk with the Walrus Punch. Yoshi has the Pulverize available now. And it's going to shift into daytime, so we may see 5 strangers try to make a move around the Night Stalker top here again. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Savage can get completely blocked off by the Ice Shards. Does have the Ice Blast to turn around with, but it's way too much damage. That Walrus Punch is there, and it's enough to just completely obliterate Ancient Apparition. That's going to turn into another Tier 1 tower for 123, 123. And they're making it happen. This is exactly how they wanted to play when they picked up this draft. Just so much run-at-you potential, so much pressure that they can create, and they're doing it in all 3 lanes. Yoshi gonna maybe consider looking under tower. Uranson just trying to find a little bit of space up here. Of all the cores on the side of 123, 123, it's definitely had the least easy game so far. And Karma's gonna make their way up here too, so 5 strangers looking to get a Tier 1 tower of their own. Maybe find this Night Stalker. They've got the Urn. They're going to throw that into the Pulverize. Has the Dark Ascension, but it's not going to be enough. Pulverize holds them in place for the Ice Blast, and that's going to delete the Night Stalker. TP considered over to the Outpost, but they end up canceling it, and so this should turn into a tower kill for 5 strangers. But meanwhile, Ferrari 130 and your Tier 2 tower are the ones under threat on the opposite side of the map. The Ice Shards connect from the Tusk. Satoshi has the damage, is nearly going to bring down Little Nick, but they get the snowball save, they find the kill on Ferrari, and now Satoshi's the one in trouble. Little Nick able to escape, is taking the cold snap damage, and they're going to run under the Tier 3 towers. Satoshi trying to limp away, going to turn around with the Pulverize, but the Familiar is there. The damage from the Shadow, the poison as well from James, and 123, 123 starting to run away with this one. Demon looking to escape. These snowballs have been perfect from Demon on the Tusk, and the Sprout to completely block Karma's chance of any hope of finding this kill. Ferrari 130, though, did come in over on the backside, and the Ice Blast is going to be there from Savage, and that will bring down the Tusk. So finding any amount of punish for this deep dive from 123, 123, but the pressure has not been relieved. Got the Drum of Endurance ready on Lil Nick. Looking at that Shard next. Savage just trying to get themselves to a Glimmer Cape. Karma trying to finish up. Now going for the Midas before finishing off the Spirit Vessel. What else are we cooking? Toshi working on the Blade Mail, probably going the pretty standard Blade Mail Heart build. The Tuber Ronson working on the Echo Saber, probably going to go directly into that Harpoon. Demon is not far away from a Blink Dagger. This is going to be a very fast Blink Dagger for a support Tusk, and that's going to make these plays even scarier. Karma is going to scout out the Night Stalker, but the rest of 123, 123 is already on the backline. Ferrari 130, still no points in the Siren Song. Damage from the Bedlam is coming out, and they are going to find the opening kill onto Demon. Now Ferrari 130 going to turn over towards 555. Tuber Ronson's in with the Dark Ascension, going to try to turn the pressure back around onto the Naga Siren. 555 getting brought low. The Tornado holds them up, and two heroes falling low. Ferrari 130 is going to get finished off. 555 will be traded for it. Sunstrike is just off the mark to try to finish off the Night Stalker. Meanwhile, on the backside of that fight, James brought down Satoshi. No Primal Beast for the rest of this engagement, but it looks like it will be a disengagement. Both teams going to limp away. Their resources are starting to run out. Lil Nick, already an absolute menace. There's no chance for this Ancient Apparition. And So You Die is correct. As Sunsfan likes to say, Savage is playing Ancient Apparition, so he is going to die. That Solar Crest and the damage from the Familiars. Absolutely nutty. All right-click damage.
Monster kill.
As Carl trying to escape yet another gank coming out from 123, 123. The Shadow Realm not going to be enough to save their life. Brought down by the AoE damage of James. 184 damage from the Shadow Wave. Yeah, the Ag Scepter is online. Just an absurd amount of damage on that Shadow Wave once you have the Ag Scepter.
Dazzle.
Five Strangers, they want to try to defend this tower here. They're going to start with the Terrorize into the Tornado. That's going to set up your Ice Blast, so they are almost going to be able to find James, but the Snowball save is there! Demon's plays are insane, the Blink Dagger is ready, James has the Shallow Grave, Satoshi's going to be the one to fall, James will finally go down to the DOTs left behind, but that is insane that they get to live that long. That means 2 cores are traded from 5 Strangers for just the Dazzle. They now get the Roots out onto Demon, taking some damage from the Illusion, able to click it down, and Demon is going to escape. Now Carl's the one in a tough spot. Lil Nick is going to turn with the Solar Crest, and Demon finishes off with the punch. Rolls away from the Ice Vortex. Now a 7k gold lead, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, getting away with absolute murder. Ronson has the Echo Saber, gonna look to augment that farm with an Aghanim Scepter, or Aghanim Shard for the Devour on the passive.
Radiant's top tower.
Lil Nick gonna look for that Ag Scepter now. The Silent as the Grave become even more of a ganking menace on this Visage. Karma has the Hand of Midas and the Spirit Vessel finished up. Gonna find a nice juicy chicken with that Hand of Midas. And now Carl and Satoshi looking to make something happen. They're gonna smoke up and get a deep ward over in the Dire Jungle. Lil Nick looking to make a rotation in the area as well. Savage gonna maybe join the fun here too. Lil Nick is gonna get charged up on with the Onslaught. The Pulverize is going to set up the Ice Blast. But no, he has the stone form, the Gravekeeper's Cloak activation, and just takes none of that damage. It's still affected by the Ice Blast, but it's not going to be enough. And 555, meanwhile, finds Carl, and now Tibby Ronson's in the fight. Silence is up and tears apart Savage, but has no chance to escape there. It ends up being both supports of 5 Strangers going down off of their own engagement. The stone form on Lil Nick just completely negating that ultimate. I'm gonna go back and look at that piece. That was actually kind of absurd. They're gonna turn this into a Roshan, and they certainly have the damage for it. So much armor reduction from this lineup. Yeah, because the Pulverize started on Lil Nick, but he must have already been in the animation of the break. Weird that doesn't...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Doesn't explain what that activation does, but it does give, like, it puts Visage into stone form the way the Familiars do. Ferrari 130 is going to be able to escape with the song for now, but there's a hasted up James trying to chase down this Naga Siren. Sprout isn't quite on the mark as Naga has the move speed. Going to TP away just in time. The Curse of the Old Growth, the Shard from the Nature's Prophet. I think that did actually hit, but wasn't enough, because it was right before the TP went off.
Sustains, gold remains.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm working on the Force Staff next for the Invoker. Force Staff in the works for AA as well. This is a massively important Force Staff game. You've got the Sprout, you've got the Crippling Fear, you've got the Ice Shards. You need ways for yourself and to help your teammates get out of dodge whenever this 1-2-3, 1-2-3 lineup jumps on you. Ferrari 130 has been quietly finding the farm, working on the heart, has the Reaver, so most of the way there. Looks like it's going to be a tier 2 tower. No intention offered by 5 Strangers. Now the pressure might come out onto this tier 3 tower. Supports from 5 Strangers going to rotate back to try to release the pressure. Lil Nick is chipping away at it with the Familiars. Bramble Maze is there. Throw out the Cursed Crown onto the Familiars, try to force them away. And the Fortification is used. That'll clear up the creep wave, but with this Aegis, still 2.5 minutes of an unkillable Dazzle, who now is going to look to contest. Oh, chooses wrong on the illusion. Now finds the correct one. There is a Siren Song available, so yeah, Ferrari 130 will pop it, keep you away. And meanwhile, though, Satoshi's going to be the one getting gone on. Dark Ascension, nice setup for the Ice Blast, and Tibby Ronson's going to be the one that goes down. Lil Nick has to try to escape now, too, as Satoshi with that BKB. Trying to chase forward, but now James is back in with the Blink. Karma able to Ghost Walk away. It looks like it will just be the Night Stalker falling, so a nice answer from 5 Strangers. Getting that catch in their jungle. So she has that Blade Mail done. Invisibility. The BKB. BKB, I think, being the more recent timing. Just the Blink Dagger still on the tusk, working on an Ag Scepter. Or the kick. Blink kick. Going to be terrifying. Now Demon once again going to find the snowball, and 555 is now bringing the pressure out. They're going to try to turn this around on Satoshi. The Shallow Grave is there. And that's going to bring down the Primal Beast. James now stepping up. Does have to be careful. They are going to find the Aegis off of James. Try to set up the Ice Blast as soon as he respawns, but able to blink away up onto the high ground and finish off the kill on Karma. 555 is going to be the only one hit by the Ice Blast and will be able to walk that one off. Demon's still low, somehow survives all of that. The snowball into the shallow grave. How do you kill anybody on 1-2-3, 1-2-3? It's been... The Pulverize into the Ice Blast has been their most reliable way, but you can only do that so many times. Now, off of the Aegis going down, it's going to be the Tier 3 tower. The Fortify comes out, but it's only going to delay the racks being taken as this bottom set of barracks will fall. Toshi up on the respawn is immediately going to Onslaught directly into the Crippling Fear. Has the BKB and Blade Mail, but now the Snowball Charge is coming back in. Ferrari now comes in off of the backline. They get the Pulverize onto James, and the Dazzle goes down. Savage, though, getting torn apart by the Familiars, is going to get brought down in the backline. Ferrari trying to finish off Demon. Carl joining as well with the Naga Song, going to end it to be able to finish off the kill on Demon. 555 surrounds themselves with the Sprout. Is going to get stunned up by the Curse Crown. Team Ronson found off on the back by Satoshi. 555 just barely is able to TP away. And meanwhile, Lil Nick has still been chipping away at these buildings, but the barracks, they actually stay up. This is a pretty good hold for 5 Strangers, and now the Brambles, they're going to root Lil Nick in place. No more Gravekeeper's Cloak available for the Stone Form, and they're going to find Lil Nick as well. So 5 Strangers, all of a sudden, they find 4 kills at only the cost of their Ancient Apparition. That is a massive fight for them. That cuts the gold lead down to 5k. And all of a sudden, this Naga Siren is up at the top of the charts. So 1-2-3, 1-2-3, they have been bringing the pressure for this entire game, but have they done enough? Or has Ferrari 130 managed to find enough farm while the rest of their team was getting ganked after gank after gank? Art and Manta working on the Orchid next. Satoshi and Carl, they're gonna find James over here. They're gonna choose to just pass. Is that it? Does Terrorize give vision? I just noticed that Carl terrorized on this ward spot and canceled it. There's no way that if you cancel it, you still get vision from it. That would be some really cool Dark Will attack. It's top lane, Lil Nick with the Aghanim Scepter. It's going to set up on Ferrari. 555 is in the area as well. But it looks like they're going to choose not to go for it, not feeling like they quite have the tools they need to bring down the Naga. They will find that last tier 1 tower, which was somehow still up on the top side. Now they're going to bring that pressure immediately into the tier 2 tower. So much damage from all of these creeps, from the Familiars. And it looks like they want to turn that into stealing the Tormentor as well. I think the vast majority... I can't see it there. They do all have their shard. There are no shards on 5 Strangers. 5 shards on 1-2-3, 1-2-3. So they just steal the Tormentor, grab a little bit of gold from themselves, and deny it away from 5 Strangers. There are some important shards. We're going to see AA picking up his soon. The EMP ain't bad. The Bedlam's pretty nice, or the Cursed Crown shard on Dark Willow. The heal on the Naga ain't half bad. Like, these are all shards that you're not hurting too much for not having, but they're all ones you would enjoy having. Got Blink Dagger and Force Staff, so this Dazzle is going to be super mobile and able to lower those cooldowns with the bad Juju. Means that this guy's just going to be moving all over the place. A smoke up from either side, but it's looking like it's going to be 4 into 3. So both smokes going to pop. Lil Nick does have the speed to get away. Demon's actually going to blink in, has the walrus kick, kicks Satoshi into the middle. Lil Nick going to get the stun with the familiar, but Satoshi just going to be able to trample and stomp away. 5-5 in deep. Deeper Ronson now looking for Karma, but gets the Force Staff onto the low ground. Savage has already been brought down by Little Nick, and Team Ronson trying to focus down this Invoker. They're going to find it. The BKB, no chance to escape. Satoshi now with Ferrari, finding James on the backline. That's the important one. It's going to make everybody else a lot easier to kill when the Dazzle's been brought down. Demon hiding up on the high ground. Now they get the net onto 5-5-5. Can Demon find a save? Yes. Blinks down, gets the snowball, kicks away Satoshi, but then chases him down with the snowball. That creates a gap for Ferrari, and that's going to give them some space to survive. But now the Naga song is there. That's going to set up stuns on both Demon and 5-5-5. Now they turn, bring down the Nature's Prophet. The net is there. Ferrari's kicked away. The snowball as well. And gets the blink out of the snowball, but no, there's no way. The Pulverize is back up, and they find the kill on Demon. So it ends up being a 3 for 3. 5 Strangers, they get the better of that exchange. More XP, more gold. The one BKB used on either side. I don't think we've seen any other BKBs in this game yet. Karma going to be working on theirs next. See Dazzle working on the Octarine Core, most likely. Those cooldowns even lower. Boots of Bearing done on the Visage with the Gravekeeper's. No, they both get stunned by the Centaur. Oh god. Karma now is in a little bit of danger, but Satoshi's there. 5-5-5 though is there to rotate in, but the Terrorize and the Brambles is going to try to give Karma enough space. Now the Sunstrike comes back around. 5-5-5 trying to turn and fight. The Shadow Realm is enough to get Carl out of there, and the Nature's Prophet will be the one to fall. So a nice response from 5 Strangers to find another kill. And 5 Strangers, Roche is up, and they're looking to it. With the death of 5-5-5, this is going to set them up to get this Roche on. And it's been a while since we've seen the Naga Siren die. How do you kill her twice? We're on some smoked up. Is thinking about poking their head over here. They're gonna pop the Dark Ascension. The Roche is already so low. Chooses not to fly into the pit, so it will be finished off. Now they're going to find Karma on the backline. It's going to be the Invoker that goes down first. Satoshi getting set up on as well. Gets the BKB, gets away, and now there's the Naga song. Try to break up the fight, but ends up deciding to cancel it. And now Ferrari 130 is kind of off on an island. Everybody else TV'd home. Oh no, this is a disaster. This is going to be both lives for Ferrari. Ice Blast is going to hit everybody, but it's not going to do a single thing. Ferrari 130 gets kicked away, brought down twice. No chance to TP away for the Naga. The song was cancelled early. They needed to just get out. It seemed like a bit of a miscommunication. Ferrari wanted to stand and fight, but the rest of 5 Strangers, they were already home. Now with the Aegis lost, the Naga dead, it's going to be a kick into, or out of the base, into the Snowball and Carl. Lil Nick dives all the way almost to the fountain, find the Ancient Apparition. Just like that, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, back in the driver's seat. Carl getting brought down low. Damage from Lil Nick and 5-5-5. Just going to delete them. The punch into the kick from Karma. They are going to get the buyback from the Dark Willow. Satoshi trying to find some space. Aya going to buy back as well. Ice Blast looking to connect. It's going to find James. Satoshi able to survive. Demon as well. Now the kickback onto Satoshi. Immediately into the Crippling Fear, and the Primal Beast is torn apart. That's the dieback on the Primal. Demon able to survive once again. It's the Snowball Shallow Grave. How do you kill these heroes? With the Dazzle forced to TP away, and the rest of those buybacks, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, they are going to pace themselves. They're going to turn their attention back towards the mid-tier 2. Maybe just because they wanted to start hitting the mid-tier 3 and realized they couldn't yet. Starting to get the pressure coming out from the Treants on those towers. We get later into the game, we start seeing those powering up. Unsurprisingly, not taking the talents that buff those, but even in their base form at level 4, they're doing work. We got the BKB finished on Karma. Yeah, that's a fresh 9-second BKB. That has the potential to be incredibly helpful in this next engagement. 5 Strangers, that's what they're going to need. They are going to have their Primal Beast respawning. So Satoshi will be here, able to join. What do we got for buybacks? Only Lil Nick. Nobody else in the game has a buyback available. As he were used, Ferrari going to get stunned up. They find the Naga Siren has the song available, but it's hexed up by the Dazzle Shard, and Ferrari 130 goes down, no buyback available. 600 gold short. Now the blink in, the kick onto the Primal Beast. Satoshi has the BKB, but gets stunned up again by the Walrus Punch. Going to try to onslaught away, will be able to do so. Going to survive for now. Timo Ronson in on the backlines, and James is there with the blink to get the Shallow Grave in and get the Night Stalker out safely. 555, though, is the one caught going a little too deep. Brought down by Karma. Five Strangers continuing to cling to this game.
Invisibility.
Ronson looking for the Nullifier as a way to purge off the Ghost Scepter. Don't think... yeah, you can't dispel Shadow Realm. As Lil Nick and Demon, they're hunting again, and Karma is hanging out at half health. Does have both of the supports here, but they're immediately going to get the punch. Snowball into the stun. Carl gets torn apart by the familiars. Satoshi's in to give Karma some space. The Pulverize and the Terrorize. That's going to be able to kill Demon with the Ice Blast as well. Now Ferrari's going to set up onto the Visage with the Song into the net, but James is there with the Hex from the Shard. She's going to keep throwing out the poison. Carl getting brought low and will fall. Savage trying to escape but gets stunned up by the familiar. No chance to TP. Lil Nick picks up the double kill. James is able to bring down Ferrari 130. Satoshi going to try to teleport away, but there's another stone form from the familiars to get the stun. And now all 5 of the Strangers are dead, and only one of them has a buyback. And 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Getting their business done. Creep Wave's going to come in, finish off that mid-tier 2 tower. They're going to go right into the base. James blinks up past the tier 3 tower. They will take out the tower, work on some barracks. Invoker going to be respawning soon. See what this Invoker can do. Try to slow this push. They're going to turn their attention over towards the top lane tower, try to finish off the Mega Creeps before most of 5 Strangers are able to respawn. And GG is going to be called 1-2-3, 1-2-3. They run this game over. 5 Strangers showing some glimmers of hope in the end. 1-2-3, 1-2-3 get their business done in an insane high-tempo game. 39 kills in 36 minutes. That's going to do it for game number 1. Incredible performance from 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Really across the board. Very strong showing from them. MVP, I gotta give it to Demon, though. There were so many insane snowball plays, and look at that KDA. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful stuff. Interesting little, win probability thing going on there for 1-2-3, 1-2-3. But that's going to do it for our game number 1. We will be back after a short break for game number 2, so stay with us. Alright, apologies for the delay, but we are back for game number 2.
It is Dyer's ban.
Getting into the draft.
10 seconds remain.
So, because of the delay,
5 seconds remain.
123 was taking too long to get into the lobby, so they are at a reserve time penalty for this game. 5 Strangers took the coin flip in game 1, so 123 had the priority for game 2. They chose first pick, 5 Strangers took Radiant, so we're seeing the same layout there.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. It is Radiant's ban.
So if you were not with us for game number 1, 123 took it. They were able to put together this very high tempo run at you gank strategy and really ran over the first game. For a lot of it, there was definitely threats from 5 Strangers to get back into it, largely in the form of a Naga Siren carry that was played by Ferrari 130.
10 seconds remain.
That definitely showed that they had hope to stay in that game. We're going to see 5 Strangers banning out this time a couple of the heroes that 123 had last game. That is the Visage and Dazzle. They did not ban was the opening pick from last game of the Nature's Prophet, so that is going to be picked up once again by 123. Primal Beast is taken out this time, which was 5 Strangers' first phase pick last game. So they choose instead to steal the Tusk that 123 played last game. And Demon's Tusk was my choice of MVP for that game. Just absolutely absurd snowball saves, playmaking with the Walrus kicks. Really impressive stuff. It's going to be Grimstroke and Spectre bans for 123 in the second phase. Grimstroke we saw banned last game. 5 Strangers banned the Spectre in the last phase of last game's draft. So, switching up which side of that ban is on this time. We're seeing 123. They are having to draft a little quicker due to that penalty, starting with very little reserve time. We're going to see the Earth Spirit banned out again by 5 Strangers, seeing that in the hands of James, who had an excellent performance on the Dazzle, which was also a targeted ban in the first phase.
10 seconds.
Visage was played by Lil Nick in the last game, so that's the other player we're seeing a good amount of ban priority going to in the form of the Visage and Brewmaster. Offlane is where we most often see the Brewmaster picked up. So I'm curious, I want to see 5 Strangers go for something higher tempo. We've already got the Tusk, so that is already looking like they have that idea as well. Because they need to be able to answer the tempo that 123 puts out, assuming that they go for a similar sort of strategy they had last game. And that made it a very exciting game to watch. It was just non-stop action. 123 averaged more than a kill per minute throughout that game. It was 39 kills in 36 minutes. Just absurd high tempo stuff. And I want to see what 5 Strangers are going to put together in this draft to answer it. It's going to be the Phoenix. So we saw this get banned out last game. I forget by which side. It was 123. The Primal Beast replaced the Phoenix ban, so 5 Strangers get their Phoenix this game.
10 seconds remain.
This was a hero that was quite strong in the last patch, I believe. It did not see any nerfs in 734E, so still in the same power level it was at TI. I think it got nerfed a little in the D. but he was still good there. Centaur Warrunner is going to beat the pickup from 123, 123. Traditionally an offlane hero, but we've been seeing glimmers of this hero be moved into the support role. Looking less likely that we'll see that here as it leads into a Snapfire pick. I'm guessing that'll be your offlane combo, but that'll mean that the Nature's Prophet gets moved to 5. Which, no, Nature's Prophet was the 5 last game, so that would add up. Because Tusk was the 4. Yeah, because they lane the Nature's Prophet top. So, yeah, I'm guessing this will be a position 4 Snapfire, position 3 Centaur Warrunner, but I would not be the most surprised if those end up flipped. But I think either way, that's your offlane. Small chance of Snapfire going into the mid lane. Don't think we'll necessarily see that, but maybe James is a specialist on it. It's also a nice answer to the Phoenix. That's definitely the biggest reason I imagine that they pick that up here. They get the answer to the egg with the little Shredder, especially in the early game. Later game, it's not always guaranteed, especially once Phoenix gets the Sunray Shard, so that he can cast Sunray in egg. That gives them the chance to apply some blind to the Snapfire, prevent the egg from being completely torn apart.
Templar Assassin.
Templar Assassin, this is another hero that was banned last game that gets through the draft this time, because the Spectre was banned out. So that is going to be their carry option most likely. Could be flexed over to the mid lane.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that was banned out on 11 by 123, 123 last game.
Dire's turn to pick.
5 Strangers will close out this phase with a Tidehunter. So they're going to get some big team fight of their own. Also some nice lockdown once you pick up the Shard, when you get that Dead in the Water going. And it's going to be a Slark from 123, 123. So yeah, they are sticking with a higher tempo draft. Definitely not quite the level of gank that they had last game, but the Slark is going to come online earlier than a Templar Assassin, and is going to have good options to fight. Also really likes seeing that Tidehunter on the other side, because that's a good hero to farm up those Agi stacks on. Getting into the last phase of bans, 123, 123 take out the Bloodseeker. 5 Strangers answer with a Necrophos ban, and they will have one more ban to go
10
here.
seconds remain.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. 123, 123 should be looking for a mid laner here.
remain.
Again, barring like the Snapfire being moved over to the mid lane. But it would match up with how we saw them draft last game, and James is the one clicking the draft buttons. So maybe prioritizing their own hero for last as the mid laner. And I expect 5 Strangers is also looking for the same, but it depends where this Templar Assassin ends up. Ember Spirit going to get banned out, and then the Lina in response, and right into the Huskar for 123, 123. So not even caring that the that 5 Strangers still have one more pick to be able to counter it. I think they're expecting... Well, I mean, they banned the Lina, so they know that this Templar Assassin could be carry. But it's going to be a really good answer to the Templar Assassin, and again is going to be a hero that really sets the tempo of the game up to 11. See what 5 Strangers answer with. It's going to be the Queen of Pain. We saw this get banned out by 123, 123 last game. So Karma's Queen of Pain is going to come out, and that is the alternate form of the Arcana. So Karma has, I mean, I would assume any mid laner at this level has played quite a few games of Quap, but Karma definitely knows the hero well. Ferrari 130 will be on the Templar Assassin. Yeah, it's going to be the Quap versus the Huskar in the mid lane. 5 Strangers got to take that matchup, so you have to imagine that they like the Queen of Pain into the Huskar. But Huskar is known for being a scary kind of hero. I think he also got a small buff in this patch? No? Maybe the previous one? Yeah, wasn't touched in 3-4E. But I Yeah, got a little bit of a buff on the Burning Spear. Increased the duration on the D patch. So, and we saw a little bit of Huskar in like TI. I think there was at least one. I want to say Quinn played Huskar in the game where Gaiman just absolutely obliterated Azure. They got the like 5 kills before the horn. That absurd one. I think that was a Quinn Huskar game. So Hero's definitely in a pretty decent spot right now. Very curious to see how this is going to play out. Curious to see if 5 Strangers are able to stand up to the tempo that 1-2-3, 1-2-3 sets. Let's see how it's going to play out.
Thanks. Prepare for battle.
So yeah, it's going to be Carl on the Tusk this time that was stolen from Demon. Toshi on the Tide Hunter in the off lane. Probably 130 on the TA. Will be laning with Savage on the Phoenix. James on the mid lane, Huskar up against Karma's Queen of Pain, as we talked about. 555 reprising the role on the Nature's Prophet. T. Ronson going with the Slark in this game. Lil Nick on the offlane Centaur, and Demon on the support Snapfire. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. They're going to set up around this bottom river rune. Looks like things will be largely uncontested. Carl deep on the Dire side to look to get the Dire jungle rune. And it looks like 1-2-3, 1-2-3 will set up on the Radiant jungle rune, so it's just going to be a full side swap, 2 for 2, most likely, unless we start seeing some weird moves now. Even starting the Blightstone on the Snapfire. A little extra early damage. Ronson is going to step up towards top, but is going to duck back into the trees. And yeah, the bounty ring split as they were last game, but no first blood this time, so starting off on a more even foot than the previous one. Though I believe last game it was Karma that picked up the first blood in the bounty rune fight, but ended up having a tough time against the James Dazzle last game. See how this goes. Picked this mid matchup for themselves. Yeah, it's going to be a high damage one. Gets the disarm from James. Karma already feeling the pressure. Yeah, started off Inner Fire to make it even harder for Karma to find those last hits. Up top, too, Ronson already finding plenty of Agi stacks to start hitting some creeps with. Top lane probably going to be biggest fight one. I like, yeah, starting with Little Shredder, so gonna have an answer for the Refraction as well, though it's the meld at level 1.
You get nothing.
That he goes for. Top lane, hard to bring down a Tusk. Volnik is gonna get some pressure onto Ferrari 130 with the Stomp. So far, things going pretty much according to plan for both sides. Mid lane, James throwing out those spears. Actually, doesn't even have the Burning Spear yet, just the Berserker's Blood plus Inner Fire. Now we'll pick up the level in Burning Spears. And now Karma's going to be in for even more trouble as James once again off to that early lead in the mid lane. Starting off pretty calmly. Kara did start with brown boots. Does have that move speed advantage, but that means that they don't have... Wow, that was nice. Doesn't have the Quelling Blade to be able to escape the Sprout, but uses the Ice Shards to get it done. Karma holding their own here, at good health and has a full bottle to work with. 555 gonna TP over to bot.
Radiant's courier has been slain in cold.
Does not find a kill, but does find Ferrari 130's courier. I don't believe that had anything on it. Already made the delivery, but work out fine. Now I'm gonna TP back to top. TP Ronson. Playing around with Carl. The Gush comes out to cancel the salve. And Carl's going to be able to pick up the Healing Lotus out of the pool. Lane, harass coming out from James again. Karma out of the rune in the bottle, has one more Fairy Fire, but taking down those Burning Spears and the Inner Fire will finish it off. Carl tries to rotate in, but now just has to be careful. You're a level 2 Tuscan. This is a Huskar who is already off to a good start. 3 gauntlets of strength. Tusk just going to try to hide. High 5 from James to the Radiant Tower. And Carl will just be forced to cover the lane for a bit. Karma will be able to TP her back in the lane. 555 now is going to make another TP over. They get the cookie into the stomp, and the sprout isn't even necessary, as Lil Nick is there with the double edge to bring down Ferrari. Well, they do get a return kill down bot. Savage finishes off. Oof. Finishes it off even, but will pay for it with their life at the edge of a double edge. James once again throwing out the harass, but Karma has the blink available now and is able to jump away. Still getting lots of pain from the Burning Spears, but now Carl's going to make the rotation in. As the tag team, but Karma's scared to step up, going to keep taking the harass from the Burning Spears, and the lower James gets, the more regen they're getting. Karma's going to be the one to go down. Now James offering the high 5, giving the wave, gets the life break, brings down Carl, turning the gank around and high 5 in the tower. James just absolutely owning in this mid lane. Karma got their pick of what to try to handle this Huskar with, but so far not looking like they have found their answer, as James running away with the lane. Just immediately off of the TP. Life breaks in. Nice blink from Karma to get some space and stay alive. But this is a spare mode, and now 555. They're going to once again fully shut down Karma. They did this to Karma's Invoker last game. Life breaks there again, but the blink away. Karma's playing it well. Able to survive, and 555 can't quite find the space to step in. Maybe some action down bot as Carl's going to play over here. They leave the top lane alone again. Ronson and Satoshi had a lot of time themselves last game as well. Ferrari 130 maybe looking for something on Demon, who's going to get over there and steal the Bounty Rune, and is now going to make a rotation towards Karma, it looks like. It looks like they'll end up deciding to head back to lane. Carl doesn't end up finding anything to set up on. Going to grab the Watcher and walk back over to top. Maybe find a way to rotate in behind Ronson. Got a good amount of armor reduction available, and ways to take advantage of it with physical damage. It's like we're going to see the Solar Crest picked up by 555, who's going to TP over to bot. They have the nice stomp onto Savage. Able to escape for now. Ferrari, though, has to run away to the north. Lil Nick throwing away, dodging to the side with their courier. Ferrari 130 trying to escape off to the dire side of the map, but this creep is helping see everything and may even be the target for this cookie. Oh, and they TP back to the tower, and just the stomp is all it takes. Stops Ferrari 130 from finding the Wisdom Rune, and meanwhile, top 5 strangers do find a nice kill onto Ronson, so she throws out the tip. Boon's also 3 levels up in this mid lane. Karma's been able to survive for a while, but James just running away with it. 47 and 14 to 19 and 3. Devastating and way up at the top of the network. They're going to get 3 heroes up into this top lane. They want to stop Tuber Ronson from finding level 6. Looks like they scouted out Savage, though, so Tuber Ronson is going to back away, and 555 is going to TP in. Ends up canceling it as they see Carl stepping up. And it's just going to push the Slark back farther away. Natoshi has finished the Meteor Hammer. Is going to start bringing that tower pressure even further. 555 does now complete the TP in. Has to sprout themselves to get some space, but now James is here. Satoshi just trying to escape, but Tuber Ronson has the leash. And the big bad Watermelon is going to get brought down. Demon stalking forward with an Invis rune, scouting out Savage, looking to set up with a cookie. Has gone full Lil Shredder. Now they get the Sprout. They see the Courier and just torn apart. Lil Shredder finishes off the Phoenix and his Courier. And 1-2-3, 1-2-3. They are off to quite the start once again in game number 2. As much as their draft, this is already looking at that early Roche. The potential from Huskar and the armor reduction that you have from Lil Shredder, the Blightstone, the Medallion finished on 555. James getting a bit low, has the armlet though, so he's going to be able to toggle up painful health. Roche is being absolutely brutal. Does not want to let 1-2-3 get this. He's just bashing the hell out of James. But it looks like, slowly but surely, they will get this early Roche before 10 minutes. No! Karma's there! They get the screen! They bring down James! And Demon is so low, but Karma is going to fall as well. Carl's in, though. Finds the kill on 5-5. Roshan finishes off Demon, and so it's 3 kills. Tuber Ronson, though, is there. Wants to finish off the Roche, but both of the supports are here. Now the Slark is going to try to step up towards Karma. Sorry, not towards Karma, towards Carl and Savage. As just absolute chaos, and 5 strangers managed to pull off the contested Roche, and now they're going to be able to step in. It's still so low. 1-2-3, 1-2-3, they want to rotate in. Tuber Ronson's going to go in, but the Ravage is there. They set up. Ferrari 130 grabs the Aegis, is immediately going to spend it as James is here. They bring down the egg. So now 2 have died. Satoshi will fall as well. And this is going to be a disaster for 5 strangers. They tear through the refraction. And 5 strangers, they get the Aegis, but they pay for it with 4 lives. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. They were not there in time to reclaim the Aegis for themselves, but they were there exactly in time to take an absolutely devastating team fight. Net worth lead back up to 3,000 gold for them. They're going to get this bottom tier 1 tower. Ronson working on that Echo Saber. Demon just going to look for a Glimmer Cape into a Blink Dagger. From the cookie out. Satoshi going to step up a bit towards Demon. Turn with the Lil Shredder. This is not your normal Snapfire build. This is 3 levels in Lil Shredder. It's Snowball forward, but it's not quite going to connect. The Ice Shards will, and Carl does have the Water Sponge available. Won't even need it. Now, Karma rotates in as well, so this is going to be the top tier 1 tower. So 5 strangers, they are making good moves here to keep this game manageable. As James has the Sange coming out and then looking for the Hags. 5-5-5 throwing down the Sprout onto Ferrari 130. We'll get the slow from the trap, and Carl's going to rotate in. They need the vision onto 5-5-5 to get it with the shards. Now they're going to try to turn with the Stampede. The damage from the ultimate from Nature's Prophet is going to be there. But it's not going to quite be enough. Demon now making the rotation over, but so is Savage. Get the cookie, but a nice Tumbler's Toy from Ferrari 130 to escape the stun. Oh, but a double damage rune picked up by James. It looks like Karma tried to fight for it. That is a scary beast, a Huskar with the DD. Ferrari has their Dragonlance finish, most likely going to look towards something like a Desolator. See Savage working on the Spirit Vessel, get even more ticks of damage going. And very important to have against the Huskar. All the regen reduction that you can get against this guy is going to be important. 555. I think this is a Solar Crest on the way. Sure is, along with a neutral item and plenty of support tools. Even the Blood Grenade's flowing, because that's going to be a good tool for getting through Ferrari's refraction stacks. Arma's going to blink forward to try to cancel the ultimate of Demon, who eats a big Sonic Wave, but with the jump is going to survive for now, but Savage will be there with the burn damage, and they'll find the Snapfire. 555 TP's away in the meantime, so Snapfire will be the only hero to fall there. Can still take advantage for 1-2-3, 1-2-3, but 5 Strangers keeping this one manageable. Ferrari 130 going to go over and camp out on that Wisdom Rune to make sure they secure it, especially important against a Nature's Prophet who can keep you right on top of it. Doesn't go for that one. As 1-2-3, 1-2-3, they smoke up. I think they're expecting to find a Templar Assassin here, but it's only the Phoenix that they're really chasing down. They are going to get the correct read that Savage has gone through the portal. And now they're going to see him dive onto that creep wave. So they're going to continue to look for this. They have the Blink Dagger available. It's actually going to be Carl that they set up on with the Blink Stomp into the cookie, but has the Snowball. You give them a little bit of space, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. No, they will fall. Hubert Ronson picks up the kill, gets that permanent Agi stack up to 3 already. And it looks like, for the moment, 1-2-3, 1-2-3 willing to take their feet off the gas a little bit. I mean, they just made that smoke gank and found a support kill. I think they wanted something more. I think they wanted Templar Assassin. But we've not seen James active in a fight for a while. Just opting to farm up for that Aghanim Scepter and then come out with an even bigger power spike later. That's giving Ferrari some space to farm. Ferrari 130 is... it's getting up there. Almost touching the Centaur's net worth. Satoshi having a great game. Working on a Mage Slayer. Interesting. I have not seen a Tidehunter build like this. They have the Blade Mail as well. Which, that's more standard. I'm very curious to see what this Mage Slayer does for the Tidehunter. Coming out on this Courier. There's the cloak for that. If you were on going to run into 3 heroes, Carl gets the stun, but able to sneak away. Karma is looking for the Sonic Wave. Ronson, the slippery little fish, and able to escape for now, get over to the safety of Demon, and now it's going to throw out the slow onto Satoshi with the Diffusal Blade and start chipping away. The armor reduction from the little Shredder is going to come out. Cookie forward doesn't quite find it. Meanwhile, Ferrari 130 found a kill over onto 555 on the other side of the map. They're still trying to fight this Watermelon, but he's so tanky. Ravage comes out. Tibu Ronson somehow dodges it with the jump? What? They do finally find the kill on Satoshi, but they get the return on Lil Nick. Carl goes down to the Mortimer's Kisses. Savage trying to escape, but Tibu Ronson is in too deep and is going to fall, so 5 Strangers, they get the better of this. I am still stunned, unlike the Slark, who somehow dodges that Ravage with what I guess was just the absolutely perfect jump from the Pounce. Like, God, I wish I had a way to do instant replay on these streams. I need to see that again. I'm gonna have to go watch that back. Somebody wants to clip that for me, that would be amazing, because I did not see the Slark get stunned despite clearly being in the AoE of that Ravage, and he doesn't have a BKB. Maybe he was just instantly dispelled by a Dark Pact? That must be it. But no, but his Pounce still should have gotten interrupted. I think. That was a weird interaction. Anyway, we've got Little Nick working on a Blade Mail.
Bounty.
Farming up enemy jungle. We are going to see 5 strangers try to contest this. Now the Sonic Wave is going to bring down 555, so a nice little engagement. And now James is going to walk into Watermelon. Doesn't have the Ravage available, but Carl is there. He even gets picked off from the backline by Karma, who's recovering nicely in this game. But now here comes James and Little Nick with the stuns. But no, they bring down the Huskar. So it's just 3 kills for nothing. Karma is alive on 0 health. The Burning Spears finally bring him down. Now they're going to try to run down this Centaur, but they're not going to be able to find it.
Is the path to wisdom.
Yep, just those little ticks of damage from the Burning Spears. Now TB Ronson still hanging out in this triangle. Isn't actually going to finish off Savage. I mean, I think knows they have the Supernova, but it's only level 1 still. So probably has the tools to deal with it. Toshi does not like the TB Ronson hanging out here. And does have Ravage available once again. As that Cloak no longer has the Mage Slayer queued up. So maybe thought better of going that angle. Maybe looking at something more traditional like a Blink Dagger, but we will see where the build ends up taking them. We've got the full Spirit Vessel on Savage. James does have the Aghanim Scepter finished. Getting the taunt on Life Break and extra cast range there. I'm guessing that was that engagement in the top lane, but James did end up going down for it, so... Again, 5 strangers, the net worth lead is still only 3k for 123, 123. And Ferrari continuing to farm up, actually at the bottom of the quarters right now, but is definitely the scariest late game hero in this game. And with Refraction, able to completely solo a Tormentor, pick up the Shard. That's a nice one to get. That's your Phoenix. Phoenix loves getting that Shard. Able to Sunray in the Supernova. Incredibly important. Radiant is going to scan out this Roach Cake as 123, 123 look to pick up the second Roach of the game. And it looks like this will be theirs pretty cleanly. Not enough impetus from 5 strangers to go contest this. 123, 123 all are going to immediately smoke out of the Roche. There's not much in this area that they're going to find. Lil Nick alone went through the portal, but is going to find Karma here, who is not the hero that the Centaur wants to run into. Carl hanging out in the area as well. But it looks like there won't be an engagement there. Maybe now a threat of collapsing together, but Carl has the Blink Dagger finished on the Tusk. That will be enough to get their space away. Working on the Aghanim Scepter, so a similar build that we saw Demon go before. I think pretty much the standard build because of just how powerful the Blink Dagger Walrus Kick combination is. 555 finds 2 Wisdom Runes sitting back here for the Dire. A little bit of investment working for them there on the XP. Arl playing with fire, going for these healing lotuses. I believe that should have revealed them to 123, 123. James is just focused on going for this tower. Now they see the courier, and Demon's gonna go take a look back here. Yeah, everybody now running at Carl. Maybe a little excessive, as James gonna keep finishing off the tower, but everybody else trying to find this Tusk who's gonna throw down the ice shards at the creep wave and try to escape. Ducks into the trees, Lil Nick guesses wrong, and Carl will get away with a very bold movement. Now over on the bot side, looking to defend their own safe lane tower, or off lane tower, I should say. As Satoshi is going to be the one left out to dry. Does manage to take the Aegis off James on their way out. So, not for nothing there. As, I don't really know what that Stampede was for. But, I don't know what Lil Nick was cooking there. Now, we're gonna walk into Karma out of the Twin Gate. Karma has some heroes behind him. Gonna get the Slark making their way up here as well. Well, it doesn't look like anybody's really looking to fight here. Kinda chillin', testing the waters. See, we've got Kaya-san finished on the Queen of Pain. We're gonna smoke up here. Even hanging out in the mid lane could be in a vulnerable spot. As 5 strangers potentially look to make the wraparound. The Phoenix Courier is gonna give this away a little bit if 123 got vision of that. Looks like TB Ronson will be backing away. Satoshi now thinking about stepping up. It's just going straight for the heart on the Tidehunter. But that Reaver is going to be very difficult to bring down. Slark able to get into their ultimate, but the dead in the water is there. Sonic Wave not quite on the mark, but it's still going to be plenty as all 5 of these heroes surround the Slark. Even going to Glimmer Cape, try to TP away. Will be able to escape, not quite in range of the egg stun. That was a full Glimmer Cape. I was curious if that was just the Shadow Amulet, which would have been funny.
A doodle for the ages.
The 5 strangers, slowly but surely, they've cut this lead down to 2k. They actually had a big XP lead, and are building it back up. Gold swinging in their direction as well. And nice and close on the win probability. Whose items haven't I looked at recently? I've had 5 working on the Aghanim Scepter. The root on the Wrath of Nature is quite nice. It's topside, Lil Nick, and TB Ronson. They're going to find Carl.
Nature's wrath.
I think they were looking for Ferrari 130 there as well, but able to TP away to safety. Only Carl will be found. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Continuing to play on the Radiant side of the map. And not a huge lead, but continuing to create the pressure. They have a hard team to initiate on unless they can get a really perfect ult from the Tidehunter. But Has the Heart is still not looking at a Blink Dagger, now just looking at the Shivas as another option for stopping James' regen. Which is definitely helpful, but I feel like at some point you really want that Blink Dagger. Be able to get those big juicy ultimates, but at least has the Phase Boots, so able to just kind of walk in and drop it down. I'm kind of using it as the counter engage, I think, too. Because the lineup of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is pretty reliant on diving on you. All 3 of their cores want to get on top of you anyway. Huskar being a ranged hero, but barely. Not a huge range, and uses the life break to get directly on top of you anyway. So, definitely not the most necessary Blink Dagger game for a Tidehunter. So I see what Satoshi's cooking. Snapfire working on a Blink Dagger and an Ags. It's like going for the Aghanim Scepter first after having that Blink Dagger queued up. That'll give the Gobble Up Spit Out So another nice initiation tool for them to work with. And what's nice is you don't have to worry about, you know, screwing a core over by throwing them in. That's what all of these cores want to do anyway. RE-130 lurking around Demon, but not going to commit onto anything. Little Nick in the area now, too. Big damage coming out from Ferrari out of that meld. Little Nick now jumping forward with the stomp. Mortimer's Kisses to follow up. Savage able to jump away. Gets into the Supernova, but James is clicking away at it. The Sonic Wave, oh, it's not quite going to be enough. James now sitting low with the BKB is going to fall to the damage from Ferrari. TA does not care that you have a BKB. Gonna bring down Demon as well, and now Lil Nick in a bit of trouble. It's a stomp onto 2. Starts blocking him off a little bit. Do they have the damage before the TP finishes? They do not. Oh, I wish I saw just how low Lil Nick got, because that was so close. But no further options for canceling a teleport. Now they're going to walk right into 555, and Ferrari 130 has the damage. This time Slark does get hit by the Ravage and has the Dead in the Water on them. Able to jump away on a huge Centaur Stomp from the creep camp. Kimber Ronson able to TP away as well. Fish just too slippery with that Aghanim Scepter. Or does the... yes, the Fish does also have the Scepter. Got the silence from the Aghanim Shard on TA. Got... it's the other way around this time. 123, 123 were the ones that had all their shards last game. This game, Carl's the only one without it on the side of 5 Strangers. That's not a super important one. Just kind of buffs the ice shards a little bit. Bot side, they're going to find Karma with the life break, and yeah, it's going to be a dead Queen of Pain. Are lurking around in the back lines, but not sure what they're planning to find over here, because there's no Wisdom Rune. We just get that Watcher Vision to know when the Tormentor's happening. Find out 123, 123 has decided it's Torment time. Through 123, Kimber Ronson jumps right in with the pounce onto Ferrari. Immediately taking down so low. We'll be able to heal right back up with the Shadow Dance. Passive kicking in. Dire side. Oh, here's the Aghanim's reveal, and it's James immediately on to the Phoenix, who's finished off with the double edge. Lil Nick in the middle gets punched up. James sitting at that dangerous spot, gets hit by the Sonic Wave. Has the BKB, so able to walk away with the Dead in the Water on them. Kimber Ronson trying to bring down Carl, can't quite finish the job. The attacks from the TA come through. Savage drops down the Supernova, but it's not going to be enough to find anybody, as the mobility from the Dire side is too much.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Now we're gonna get a smoke up from either side and potentially a clash in towards the mid lane. Kimber Ronson stepping right up to the creep wave. Thinking Satoshi's alone, but there is the potential. Ferrari has the Blink Dagger.
Are scanning for enemies.
Turn their attention maybe over towards the bot side. They find Demon.
They're unstoppable.
And they are going to bring down the Snapfire. Now Kimber Ronson's in, gets the leash onto Karma. He's able to get a little bit of distance with the Force Staff. Now Little Nick in with the big stun, but they return it with the Ravage, an even bigger one. Ferrari 130 trying to finish off Kimber Ronson, but not going to find it. Now turning towards Lil Nick. Now gets disarmed by the inner fire and brought down. Once again, the big bad double edge from the Centaur. Just putting an absolute end to these heroes. He made the heart a little more expensive and gives you a little bit less strength. That does not mean that Lil Nick does not want it anymore. So jumps in far and now is going to get anchored up. Then the water comes out, and that's going to hold them in place for the Sonic Wave. And so Lil Nick will get punished for this, and Team Ronson has to be careful as well. Has the Shadow Blade to be able to Shadow Dance away.
Pick it up, Mother.
Oh, another Ag's jump forward for James, and that's going to be immediately a death onto Carl. And now the follow-up, they get the stun, 555 TV's in. Immediately they tear apart that anchor. The little Shredder puts in so much work, and they're going to follow it up with a Mortimer's Kiss as James trying to finish off this Watermelon. Team Ronson jumping in under the tower as well, and they will bring down the Tidehunter. Immediately they're going to turn this into a Tier 3 tower as well. They've got the Treants from the Nature's Prophet. Ferrari 130 just has to look on, trying to meld out, or Psyblades out this creep wave, and they kill most of it. Which, I mean, this time it's 555, who's probably the one hero that does not want to be gobbled up and spat out. Is just going to TP home. And Team Ronson going to finish off the melee racks with the help of the Shadow Dance. Now jump away, TP home, everybody's going to TP out to safety. James heading right over to this top wave to help it push in.
Hunting bounties.
Ferrari 130 working on a Silver Edge. Almost there. This will be a big one because it makes it a lot easier to bring down James if they can get this passive broken. Turn off Berserker's Blood. Suddenly Huskar becomes a normal hero. He's already at low health like he tends to be. Big opportunity to tear him apart. Now they're going to get the setup. They even need the Shadow Blade or the Silver Edge. Well, they do. They use that Silver Edge, immediately make it pay off. Off of the reveal. Very nice setup from Carl into kill from Ferrari. That's going to be their last Aghanim Shard. Going to go over to Carl. Everybody else already picking theirs up. So they'll get the upgraded Ice Shards.
Scanning for enemies.
They scan out the Roche Pit, but with Huskar dead, you have to imagine they're not really in that area. Slark actually nearly steps into that. Is going to back away. Lots of 5 strangers are here. TV Ronson actually going to just choose to walk away rather than go through the gates, but now he's going to step back up. Pulls out the ward. Carl jumps in, able to pounce out from Ice Shards. Demon had scooped up a creep to try to throw in. Ends up expiring. It looks like with the Huskar dead, 5 strangers going to be able to turn this to the 3rd Roche of the game. Mortimer's Kiss is going to rain in. That's going to force them out of the pit for now. But not too much. Is Satoshi just going to keep chipping away at it? They get the D-ward, so controlling the vision game. Trying to have an idea of when to go in, but Satoshi's the one who jumps in first. Slark has no way to escape from this dead in the water, just going to try to turn and click on it, but in the meantime, that means that 5 strangers able to finish off the Roshan. Lil Nick in with another huge stomp. Now silenced up by the trap. Karma on top of them with the Sonic Wave. Lil Nick getting brought low, but so tanky. Ravage comes in, that's going to set up the ult. Now James off of the Gobble Up. And the Spit Out. They're all stunned up. They're going to find the Aegis off of Ferrari 130. James right in the middle, but now the TA is going to respawn with the Silver Edge. It means that James will fall. And now the rest of 123, 123, they have to try to escape. Hugh Ronson still hanging out, healing up off the shadows, finds the break, but immediately Karma's able to blink away. Carl maybe going to be brought down, but gets into the snowball, and Team Ronson's going to fall as well. It ends up being 3 for just the Aegis. And the gold lead is back down to 2k. Demon's still just playing with creeps with the Gobble Up and Spit Out over here, but 5 strangers completely win that fight. Silver Edge timing from the TA is exactly what they needed. The network lead is virtually gone. It was at its biggest it had been for 1-2-3 just a few minutes ago, and it's now less than 1,000 gold between the two teams. Templar Assassin, who was the lowest of the cores for a while after the laning stage, now at the top by a margin of 3,000, and 5 strangers, for what is, I believe, the first time in this series, have the gold advantage. Lunic and 555 pick up the Tormentor for the Dire side. That's going to be the Shard for the Centaur Warrunner. Slow on the double edge, and gives them the bonus strength. That is pretty scary, because it means the double edge is going to start hitting even harder on subsequent hits. Also has the Lotus Orb, help out the team, dispel off some of those dangerous things 5 strangers are working with. Dual Scepter being worked on for Demon, who's now in a little bit of trouble as Karma jumps in. Glimmercape's going to wear off, but able to get the cookie down to the low ground. 5 strangers deciding if they want to keep looking for something here. Toshi's going to be the one that steps up now. Gets the Hex, has a Scythe of Vice. Decided to build a Hex out of the Int Stick instead of... Oh my god, they kick each other through the Lotus Orb. Now Demon's still off in no man's land, the middle of the river. Karma and Satoshi finish off that kill.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Carl using the kick right into the Lotus Orb. I don't care if I go flying, you're still going into my team.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ronson did, I think, pick up a new gem. Yeah, because... Yeah, owned by 555, so... Savage stole 1 off of them around that Roche fight.
Scanning for enemies.
We're gonna smoke up on 3 for 5 strangers.
Damage! Go for me.
Looks like the smoke is not going to find anything. Let's see, we've got Assault Cuirass, Full Heaven's Halberd for James. Also sitting on a double damage rune. Not be surprised to see 1-2-3 look to make a move of their own here. Also playing a little bit of the rack game, but the racks are already finished down here.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Ronson in deep. He's going to draw some rotations. Carl's going to get the setup. Have the silence from the trap, but is able to get the Shadow Dance off first. Now we're going to try to pounce away. There's more heroes waiting for them. They have the Hex as well. Now just going to immediately drop the egg, but James is here as well. The Ravage is going to set up the Sonic Wave as well. Team Ronson gets brought down, and now James is in trouble on their own. The Gem's on the deck. They have the damage to bring down James. Now the kickback on the Demon. All of a sudden, this is a disaster for 1-2-3 as they lose 3 heroes. The response is there from 5 strangers. And they are looking to even this series out. The creeps are hitting their base as 555 is just going into full rat mode. Trying to bring down these heroes. Or these buildings, I should say. Throwing these trees at them.
The seeds of fortune.
Ferrari 130s in the area, 555 in the TP away. Knowing that danger was looming.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, working on a Shiva's Guard, it looks... Sorry, that's a scythe.
Is under attack.
Aro, they're gonna get this top tier too. Off of the creep wave, and Meteor Hammer's gone for Tidehunters. The Heart Scythe doesn't need the Meteor Hammer anymore. I mean, you've got plenty of tower push. You've got the Desolator on Ferrari. Plenty of stacks building up on that Desolator. Games with the "can you help me get an egg shard" line, but doesn't need any help. Takes it on their own. Or no, that was just the Wisdom Rune. The Tormentor was still down. I'm still working with that gem. Has a Shiva's Guard ready on the Phoenix. And all the more answers for this Huskar, who having trouble staying as powerful at 44 minutes into this game. 5 Strangers with a 5,000 net worth lead now, threatening the biggest lead that 123 had in this game. 123 still happy to play on the Radiant side of the map. It's kind of a full map swap. Both teams playing around the enemy side's Tormentor. Looks like 5 Strangers will get this tower uncontested, finishing off the last of the tier 2 towers on the map. Maybe looking to get their first set of barracks, but ways to go for that. Roche has respawned, and Ferrari has scouted it out with the trap. We go right into this pit. This should be pretty free for 5 Strangers, but we could potentially see a contestation. 123. It's going to get a little tricky now because it has left the pit. They're trying to stop him from escaping and create a pit of their own with the ice shards, and that is going to hold him through. Do they have the damage to finish it off? They've slowed him down so much, trying to stop him, but now he's starting to channel the tower. James is sitting here on the other side like, shouldn't Roche have started moving over here already? I'm gonna see it come through, and now there's gonna be more heroes coming on the other side. They immediately drop the Sprout. That's gonna set up the Mortarous Kisses and the Stomp. The Ravage is there, but Carl's the first to go down. Immediately going to buy back and try to get to this fight. Immediate chaos as Roche comes through the pit. Excellent spot for the egg, but Demon is going to be able to get Little Shredder off onto it. 2 gems on the deck, and now it's 123 coming out on top in this fight. The Scream of Pain is massive. The Sonic Wave, but it's not going to be enough. Karma goes down. Buyback again from Savage, but it's only the supports that buy back. The Roche is at half health, and 123 are going to get it. The net worth lead is back in their favor, and their shenanigans of trying to take this with Roche spell the doom of 5 Strangers. It also means that there was a free Aghanim Scepter instead of the... Oh my god, it's Hitch a Ride. We have Hitch a Ride in our game because they held the Roche back on this side. Because normally you get a Refresher Shard for killing Roche on the Dire side. But I believe because he was held up for that long, it stayed as an Aghanim Scepter. Or because they'd already started it. We're getting another buyback, this one from Satoshi. But Savage is brought down before the Watermelon can even get in the mix. This is going to be Barracks. At least one set in the mid lane. Now they're going to get the jump forward. Satoshi just having to back away. TA had buyback for a moment. He does not have it up anymore. 2,000 gold off. Mega Creeps acquired. Oh, it's a Rapier. It's a Rapier in the stash. Okay, Ferrari at 130 is going to respawn with a Rapier. Demon's going to die in the fountain off of the kickback. Their Ancient is exposed, but they have the potential for a fight. Moonshard on the Tidehunter. Carl gets another kickback onto the Slark. Ferrari 130 has to get in there with damage. Carl goes down, no buyback available. Satoshi trying to fight them off. Ferrari 130 throwing out the damage, trying to bring them down. Can the Rapier do it? Can it at least hold them for now? They're down both of their supports. Another throw in from the spit out. The damage onto Ferrari. The Divine Rapier is out onto the deck. James is going to fall, but will respawn off of the Aegis. They spot out the Rapier. That's going into James's inventory. Toshi is trying to contest them, has the Ravage, but GG has already been called in an absolutely chaotic game. 1-2-3, 1-2-3, close it out. And they take game number 2. It looks like the GG might have been cancelled, but it's not going to matter. It'll get called again, and the Ancient will be falling anyway. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. They take both games, 2-0 the series, and will move on to round number 2 in TDL America's Pro Series 27. That was a bonkers matchup. I mean, it was 1-2-3, 1-2-3 favored for most of it, but it really looked like Five Strangers had put something together to come back, and then that insane fight around the Roche, they were trying to stop it from getting through the portal so they could take it, but they weren't able to take it before it got through the portal. And that meant Five Strangers were forced to go through the portal to follow it, and 1-2-3, 1-2-3 sitting there waiting for them, just get the absolutely perfect fight. Whew. That was a fun one. I'm looking forward to seeing more of 1-2-3, 1-2-3 in our next matchup. They're playing, I believe, Team Inverse. I'm going to have that match for you coming up soon. Yeah, looking forward to more of it. Looking forward to seeing what they can do up against this next round team who got a bye into the second round. Definitely going to be exciting. Stick around. We will have that series for you in about 15 minutes. So don't go anywhere, or if you're going to go anywhere, go check out another TDL stream. There's quite a few of them going on. 4 matches at once, generally. So plenty of action. But for more of this chaos, come right back here soon for round number 2.